Apple's annual Developers Conference, WWDC, was recently held. Our tech expert, Gaurav Chaudhary, also known as Technical Guruji, attended and spoke with Greg Joswiak, Apple's Senior VP Worldwide Marketing, about the event's announcements.
Hello guys, I have with me someone very special. He goes by the name Greg Joswiak, dearly known as Jaws, who also happens to be the Senior Vice President of Worldwide Marketing at Apple. And today he's gonna give us some great insights about WWDC and all its announcements. Jaws, first of all, congratulations for this amazing event.
Thank you very much. And by the way, again, thank you for making a very long trip to be with us today.
It's always a
and
pleasure.
Enjoy this very special week for us. This is one of the most special times for us, is the time we get to welcome developers on our campus, tell people the products that we're working on, the operating systems that we're working on for the rest of the year, and the ones that are going to power us into the coming years. So it's a very important week for us. So thank you for being here.
I mean, trust me when I say this, the entire keynote, I was always high on energy because the announcements were coming in back to back. And they were building on top of each other, and overall I was like, lots of stuff to absorb.
Yeah, there's lots.
Just speaking of stuff, let's begin with the visual intelligence.
Yeah.
It's been so powerful as of now, and now making it even more powerful for the users, considering it's incredibly powerful, at the same time quite fun as well for you to know more or learn more about what's on your screen.
Yep.
The question is, given privacy has always been at the center of Apple, whatever Apple is doing, how do you ensure that there's enough balance in between, the privacy and using the intelligence to analyze what's on the user screen?
Great question. You know how important privacy is to us. We've always said it's a fundamental human right. So anytime we create a feature, we don't look at how do we bolt privacy on at the end. We look at how do we engineer privacy in from the beginning. And the example you brought up of visual intelligence is a great one. There's really a couple aspects to visual intelligence. One is it's able to use our internal models to identify things.
Okay.
So for example, you take a picture of, you use your visual intelligence to picture a plant. It identifies that plant by viewing it, using the internal models to operate and figure out what kind of plant that is. It doesn't store it, right? And it gives you the answer and you're done.
Okay.
And same thing for any types of the internal on-device, and it all happens on-device, that it's doing to identify things. It also allows you the ability to search third parties, right? So for example, I could search for these incredible shoes, by the way, they do have. And I might be interested in buying a pair, so I use visual intelligence to, for example, do a Google search, or maybe I'd look on Etsy for them. In which case, for one, is we make it very clear to you that that's what you're doing.
You're moving externally.
Yeah, that you're moving externally. And again, we have requirements on how all that works. So again, we're keeping privacy in mind, so you're never surprised when you're going to send information to somebody else. But as much as possible, we want to be able to offer you the capability of doing things on device, or as you know, in Apple Intelligence in general, when we don't do things on device, we can use private cloud compute, which extends that same privacy protections that we have on device into the cloud in a way that no one's really done. So privacy is really at the core of things, of everything.
That has to be a default, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm so happy that Apple Intelligence is omnipresent across all the devices. And what's really exciting for me is the Apple Watch, the workout buddy.
It's a very cool feature.
So would you please elaborate, what's happening there in terms of Apple Intelligence? And also, how do you think it's going to motivate, all the Apple Watch users to push themselves towards that goal that they're looking at?
Great question. First of all, for those who haven't seen it, it's the ability to have your watch through your AirPods communicate to you in a motivational sort of way. And the way it does that, it uses Apple Intelligence to, first of all, gather information about you and your how much your activity is, your workout data, again, all in a very private way. It has synthesized voices from our Fitness Plus trainers, right, to using generative AI to then coalesce this information, and while you're working out, while you're, for example, running or cycling, it can give you information that is, again, intended to motivate you. Here's how far you've gone, or this is the most you've ever done, or this is now the 5th day in a row you've been able to do this. Different things that are almost like a pep talk, in order to motivate you, and it's doing it all through intelligence, right? This is the sort of thing that you couldn't imagine doing just a few years ago, and it's I'm not a runner. Maybe I will become one because of this, but the people who are using it in my group who have been testing it, they say it's absolutely phenomenal.
And it would be personal to that specific user, considering it's been analyzing
Yes,
all
exactly.
the data.
It's your data,
Yeah.
right? Again, all private, but it's all about you in a way that, again, you couldn't do it without generative AI. You couldn't do it without things like Apple Intelligence, and it's absolutely fantastic. And you get to choose from the different voices as to which one motivates you the best, and it's remarkable, actually.
One thing which I am really happy about is this universal approach that you are taking in terms of design.
Yes, yes.
Okay, not in just the naming scheme, that's again now constant, but also
And now you can remember it.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And also in terms of design, because I think for Apple, again, user experience is very important. So it's not just for the looks, I believe. The looks definitely are good, but how do you think it's going to, like, especially let's talk about the iPhone.
Yeah.
This new liquid glass design that you have taken, how do you think it's going to enhance the user experience? Like, let's talk about an average iPhone user.
Yeah.
What are they getting in from there?
Yeah. We have said for many years that design isn't just about how something looks, even though that's very important. It's about how it works,
Yeah.
too. And so we've been very excited about this opportunity to refresh the design. We did this latest design that we've been working on for years in 2013 with iOS 7.
Yeah.
And we had done some amazing work with Vision OS and built around some of the work we were doing with Glass in the interface there, which worked great as how you would map digital elements into a real world. And the design team had the idea, can we take this experience and can we bring this to our other products? And it gave us a couple opportunities. One is not only to bring it to, again, iPhone through iOS, but to bring that commonality across our devices, which is a direction we had been moving. We had standardized on fonts and some different elements, and this gave us a way to take that even further because so many of our customers own multiple Apple products.
Yeah.
And this gives you the comfort of working across them. These do come from one company and one design team. They should feel that way. And to your point, not only is it this amazing look, and we think it's absolutely beautiful, and you're seeing it in its first version, and developers see this will continue to evolve, of course, through the summer and until we ship it into the fall. But it allowed us to even streamline, clean up some of the UIs. For example, we made the camera interface much simpler. Go between photos and videos. It gives you a little sneak hint that there's more there if you want to go there. The Photos app, same thing. It allowed us to go. Some people told us they prefer a more tabular design than what we had introduced with iOS 18. It allowed us to do that in an even simpler way than we had prior. So we looked at it as an opportunity to make everything more beautiful, but also work even better, and to make it harmonizing across the operating systems, across our products.
So I think safe to say that because, given my recommendation, I always take iPhone as a very easy device for someone to learn. I think now it becomes even easier.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. And not just easier, and that's certainly a huge part of it.
Yeah.
But how many times do you use your iPhone in a day?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah, all the time, right? You pull it out of your pocket, and we wanted every part of that feeling to be delightful, right? To make you smile. I've been using it for quite some time, and I still love it. I still love just that feeling, and that's what we want. We want our designs to give you a good feeling.
My personal favorite bit was when the demonstration of the lock screen came in.
Yes.
And how, you are getting more notifications and it's shrinking in the font. It's oh, that's attention to detail, really. Yeah.
It is, and I think that's one of the things that we've tried to both pay attention to, and I think as a result, our users have noticed we pay attention to a lot of detail that isn't even always the things that we market or show, but they become part of, again, that feeling of using
DNA,
our products. Yeah, it's in the DNA, and it's, Steve used to talk about the great craftsmen care about the back of the drawer as much as the front. And
says a lot,
it says a lot, and that's how we are. We want to care about the detail that may not always make the website or the TV advertisements, but they're part of what you're going to appreciate using it, even if it's at a subconscious level. And so attention to detail is a huge part of what we do.
Guys, there you have it, straight from Jaws, and I personally look forward to trying out all these new softwares.
Please do.
I'm starting with iPad. Next is the Mac, and then in the fall definitely the iPhone as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.